Hey, what's up, everybody? So the market decided to wake up a little bit today. We can see we got some green on the board. Saturday, was looking okay. Sunday was looking terrible. And today, we're kind of bouncing a little bit here. So we're definitely not out of the woods yet, but let's just browse around and see what we can find here. Now, one thing I do like about some of these charts and some things I don't like. By the way, nothing has changed for this entire market, right? Nothing has changed entirely. Yeah, some days it looks good, some days it looks bad, but as far as the overall consensus, that hasn't changed. Which is what? Which is an impulse, a three-way pullback, right? And somehow, some way, this thing's gonna fire to the upside. Um, Yesterday, I put out a video titling, this could be, it's painting a concerning picture, and it is on some of these charts, and I'll show you what I mean. But that doesn't mean that the overall market is going to collapse on itself. And if it did, then it's just going to delay what is going to happen, which is an alt season. We're going to get an alt season somehow, some way. That's what I believe. That's not financial advice, but so for example, let's look at XRP here. If XRP had to go down and retest, $1.60 to $1.30, right around that range, right? So if this was 3, and if we had to come back up in 3 and then work your way down in 5, that could be a bigger ABC. But the thing is we would know that way before. The reason why is because I don't think it's gonna just fall on itself already, unless of course you have 3 down, you have 3 up, and if this is a 1 and this is a 2, and then we have 3, 4, and 5, then yeah, I can see that. But I think no matter what, we should get some kind of bounce coming here. Now, the best way to bounce is bouncing from a base. So I would like to see it kind of go sideways a little bit and then continue higher. Get away from the scene of the crime, right? So you can see you have these 3-way pullbacks, pump to the upside. Kind of have another 3-wave looking pullback here. Another sort of corrective move. So we technically have it. I mean, we could be on our way right now because we have 3 down, 3 up, and 3 back down. We have a 3-wave move. We have our impulse. We have a 3-way pullback. Let's go. I mean, that's clear as day, right? I mean, that's kind of what we've been explaining forever, but at the same time, you got to understand the risk, right? So this, to me, was more so like this: 3 down, 3 up, and then we had 5 down. But then what the heck is that, right? But if we add that to the equation, then we can just say, well, that's just part of the 3, right? And that's something that I haven't entertained. Well, maybe a little bit, but not to the extent that I'm going to. So again, 3 down, 3 up, and then we had 5 down. So I thought that looked like, okay, that could be finished. We have a wave 1, we have a 3-way pullback. Let's go. But this 3-way pullback just got too big. Look at the wave 1 and look how monstrous that is. I mean, it's still applicable, it's still okay, but it's getting too big. But if we sort of just add that to the entire wave, meaning instead of this being 5, right? Because if you look at this wave and then you look at this wave, this one's a lot shorter, right? But if you say, well, this is the wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then maybe we have something here, right? It's an ugly looking 3-wave move. It's not real proportional with this wave, but as long as we have 5, we're good. And we do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I wish I would have explored that. But, that's the thing. You got to track the wave. The more you track, the stronger, like a bloodhound, in the woods searching for someone who escaped from prison or something. I don't know. Their scent is getting stronger and stronger and stronger, right? So now, the further we get along in this correction, the more clear it becomes. Just like with the Bitcoin correction that we had to deal with for a long time. So now let's just summarize. What is the possibilities? Okay, so idea number 1, impulse, 3 down, 3 up, 5 down. We have a wave 1, and then we have an ABC for a wave 2. And now we're about to, maybe go sideways a little bit and then blast off into a wave 3. Simple, right? And that makes sense. By the way, Happy New Year. We're almost to 2025. So we're almost getting into the better price action, hopefully, right? So that's idea number 1. Idea number 2, we have an impulse. We have 3 down. We have 3 up. And then this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 down. So 3, 3, 3. So W, X, and Y. And now we're going to do the same thing and blast. It's basically the same thing. We're just counting it differently. Same exact idea. Okay? So those are the 2 bullish ideas. Those are my 2 main ideas. And they've always have been the main ideas. Not that second one, but essentially breaking this to the upside. Now, the third idea is, that this is where we're starting to get bearish here a little bit, which is what? Well, we have, again, an impulse, 3 down, 3 up, and this is part of a 3-wave move where we go something like this and then down. So A, B, C. So 3, 3, and 3. Right? So it's just a bigger WXY that gets us down to $1.50, $1.60. It makes you believe. And how do we know which ones are going to be? Well, if this thing fires to the upside really strongly, then it's going to look kind of like a flat, like boom, boom, boom. It's going to look like a 3-way flat. And it's going to be, kind of like, man, now what? Because now you're in the middle of the retracement areas. So from there, we can have to flag out and break out, or we turn around and come down here. So that's going to be a really tough situation if we do fire up. Now, if we take our time and kind of go flat a little bit, play around a little bit, and then fire up, that's going to give me an indication of accumulation. Look what happened right here. You fire up, come right back down. Fire up, come right back down. We need sideways, sideways, sideways. That's the best thing for any chart, is to go sideways. You're getting away from the crash. You're getting away from the scene of the crime. Volatility slows down. Volume kind of goes down. People are accumulating, right? And pretty much people are just complacent. And then that's when we go up. But if you have a sharp move down, then a sharp move up, then a sharp move down, then a sharp, it's just going to washing machine you out of the market. So if we play around like this, it doesn't have to be that big. I mean, it could be any kind of little sideways base, right? And then we have 5 waves. That's the important thing, is getting 5 waves, a 3-way pullback, and then a continuation. So that would fall under the first 2 ideas, right? And then the third bullish or the third bearish idea would be doing this and then continue. Basically short-term bearish, long-term bullish. I'm always long-term bullish on the market. Until we get to a bear market, then it's going to have to cool off for a while. But there you go. Those are the three ideas right there. Now, is there any other ideas we can entertain? Well, the last idea would essentially be like coming back down to 75, basically 75 cents to $1, coming all the way down here, then all the way back up, then all the way back down, and then kind of do something like that. Rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways breakout. That would be a nightmare. But it would be something to look for if we had to do that. Right? I'll show you on the bigger chart here. Let's get rid of all that. So we would basically kind of do something like that, right? Where you're cupping into the resistance, cupping into the resistance, cupping into the resistance, cupping in. See how the cups get big, smaller, 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 you know what I mean? Like an ascending triangle, if you will. Something like that, and then a continuation. So that would be the fourth idea. And then obviously any other ideas after that is just ridiculous. Like, you know, it would be a bear market, you know, but that's not going to happen. So, if I had to tell you which ones are going to be, it's going to be the first two ideas. And if necessary, then let's see, it would be the third idea, which kind of hits the low and then goes up. So that's it. I mean, that's basically what we have here for XRP. Let's talk targets now. I know you guys want to know the targets. Problem is, well, actually no. If this is the low, so let's do this. Let's go to the 2-day chart, right? And now what we can do here is take a trend-based fib extension from the bottom of this third wave. We're going to go all the way up to the top. And then if this is the low, which hopefully it is, which is at $1.90 right there. Now we can figure out where these targets are going to be. So you ready for this? First target would be $4.33. That would be the bare minimum. Bare minimum 133. So without a doubt in my mind, we're 433. Contingencies, this has to be the low, and we have to break through these highs up here. So as long as we do those two things, hold the low, break the highs, I think 433 is definitely in the cards. Next one would be $5, between $5.30 and $5.80. So around there, between $5.30, just say between $5 and $6. Much simpler that way. So between that $5 and $6 area would be really it'd be the 1618, right around 584. Okay. The second target, we know XRP loves the 2, right? There's a lot of 2 fib levels out there. So that brings us to about 675, 678. Then we're going to be jumping up to between 780 and 830. Now we're getting to big numbers here now. And then the 3 would be about 922. And then a full 4.236 extension comes in at $12. So between $10 and $12 would be on the high end, right? And it's really cool because these retracement levels have a lot of confluence with the overall retracement levels. If I put this from here, right, and then let's go down to here. Whoops, we got to go to linear. So there you go. Let's see if we can match it up here. So look at that. You got a little bit of confluence. 2618, 830, 2618, 820, right? So it's kind of right in line with each other, which is what I like, because, you know, it's going to give you more of an accurate target here. I'm not sure why I don't have the 3618 on this one. I got to get it on there. So as we progress, right? And I don't even like talking targets yet, because I want, you know, targets are some of the last. People like to talk about targets during a bear market, and that's fine. But here's the thing: if you're out, I don't know, playing basketball or hunting, are you going to be a better shot closer or further away? You're going to be a better shot closer, right? So the closer we are to the target, the more accurate the target is going to be. It's just that simple. Now, one thing I want to wait for is breaking this range. As soon as we break this range, then it's going to tell me that this correction is finished, and then it's going to tell me when I do this and I measure it from here down to here, right? That's going to tell me an accurate target, right? So we already have the targets. The targets aren't going to change. What's going to change is the probability becomes higher, right? So if this is finished and then we start breaking out here and then we get to the 1-to-1, right? And then let's say we pull back. We have a three-wave pullback. Well, what I can do, look at this. Let me get rid of that. What I can do is, so we have a three-wave pullback, right? And then we kind of start breaking out. And let's say we get all the way up here. And that's your wave one. Then we have a three-wave pullback. Okay, perfect. What I can then do is take another extension from the bottom of this wave to the top of this wave one. Whoops. I don't know what happened there. Let me do it again. From the bottom of this wave to the top of this wave, back down to our three-wave pullback. You see what I mean? Now you're going to have an even more accurate target. And then you keep doing that until you get to the fifth wave. So there's no point in doing targets when you're way down here. Or people want to know, how high can it go? How high can it go when we're down here? You're going to get an idea, but you're not going to get a solid number, right? So I want solid, concrete evidence, of what it's going to be. So when I hit sell, I don't feel short-sighted or. So if that's our first wave, then I would go up to the 1618. And guess what? That gets me up to $7.50. Now I have a $7.50 target of a 1618 of this first wave. You see what I mean? So then, let's say we go up and we hit all the way up. Let's say we hit the 2 around 850, 950, around there. Okay? And then what do? We have a three-wave pullback, maybe around that area right there. Okay? Then you take this off. And then what I can do, don't ignore the numbers. This is just an example, right? So we're going to put it down here. We're going to go up, and then we're going to bring it down again. Okay? So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and now here's our final wave, wave number 5, right? So where's wave number 5 going to be? Wave number 5 can be anywhere between the 1-to-1 extension up to the 1618. So you're looking at between $12 and $16. How do you know which ones are going to be? Well, again, you're going to have to track the waves on the smaller time frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to take wave 1, bring it down to wave 2 so I can get a wave 3 target. I'm going to take the bottom of wave 3 going up to the top of the wave 3 down to the wave 4 so I can get the wave 5 target. And then I'm in the 5th of the 5th of the 5th and I'm finished. I'm done. I sell. I'm done. You know what I mean? So that's how you get super, super, super accurate targets. You got to go wave by wave. You got to, you know what I mean? So now you can get a super accurate target just by doing a regular Fibonacci retracement just like this, right? And, you know, let's say we go up to the 2618 right on the dot, but it's like, how do you know which ones are going to be? Well, you're going to have to look at the wave structure here. So if we're in the 5th wave, then you want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you know, okay, we're at the 5th wave. We have 5 waves in this wave as well. Then you're going to know, well, it's probably going to be around that price area, right? So this is just an example. These numbers mean nothing until we get going. Now, the only numbers that do mean anything, right? Now, look at this. I'm going to, well, first, let me just finish my thought. Right here, the only numbers that mean anything are these numbers. And technically, they don't mean anything until we break above. We don't know if that's the low yet. For example, if we have to go down to 150, or let's say 160, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that down. And what happens is it brings the targets down. So if we had to go all the way down to 150, well, now my 1618 is at 538. So how do you know which ones are going to be? Well, you got to wait and see if we can break this range. If we break the range, then the low is in. And then we can use the prior measurement. That's why I don't understand when people put out target videos and you're not close enough to the target to get an accurate target. Right? So, I mean, you can get lucky and things like that, but I prefer doing it. I prefer measuring each wave. Right? So, yeah. So if we take this and put it down here, take this, and then we'll put this up here. Let me see if that changes it anything. Yeah, so it actually makes it bigger, obviously. So we, yeah, it's not going to change it by much. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to bring it all the way down, bring this all the way down. You could see from this extension, look at this. This is our wave 1, our wave 2. Look at that. We blew past all of these fib levels like they weren't even there. So what does that mean? Well, that means if we blast through all of them, we go up to log scale. And look at that. Where did we hit? We hit the 3 on log scale. Beautiful. Beautiful. So if we can hit the 3 on log scale, that was 262 right on the dot. Right? Okay, so 262. So what then you can do is go up here. And now we're on log. Now this is where it gets like out of this freaking world. Okay? Just to hit the 1-to-1 extension, you're looking at $10. Okay? To hit the 2, you're looking at $60, guys. We hit the 3, right? So look at this. The percentages, I believe this is right. I'll have to double check. But the percentages from here to here are, I think about this, and let me say that before I'm wrong. No, okay, so they're totally different. So 600%. All right, so 640%. And now we're going to go from here, 640%. Okay, yeah, that puts you almost to the 1-to-1 extension. And that does make sense because that is a 1-to-1 move, right? So what is the percentage again? I'm just going to do it from this 3rd wave here. That's about 490%. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing again up to 400, or actually I'm going to do it from here. 490%. The screen is very sensitive, so I'm trying to do it as best as I can. 490. Close enough. About $11.35. Well, that's actually has a lot of confluence with the fib levels. So if I do another one here, whoops, from here to here, down to here, look at that. The 1-to-1 is actually around that $11 area on log scale. So what is the final conclusion? It's probably going to be around that $8 to $12 area. You know, so can it go higher than that? The only way you're going to get to like $20 or $30 is if we slice through $10 like it's not even there. Like if we get a lot of resistance and it takes a lot of time, then you're looking at probably distribution, right? Because what we have here, what we need here is a 5-wave move. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're going to go up into 5. Now this will be the final wave. So where's the final wave going to go? Does it make sense if we go all the way up to say $26? Look at the proportionality. Now it does make sense. That does make sense because you have extended fifth waves. They're all over the place. And I don't even really like it yet. And here's the thing. We don't even know if this is the fourth wave, because if you look how big wave 2 is and look how small the fourth wave is, this thing we might have to go up here and then get to that fourth wave, something like this. You know what I mean? But when you put it in regular scale, now you can see it looks pretty insane, right? So there's still a lot of unknowns. And the biggest unknown is, are we going to break this range? And I believe we will. And then number 2, the biggest unknown would be, are we in the fourth wave? Is this just a shallow fourth wave? And it could be a fourth wave. And you can say, well, this is too long. Well, here's the thing. If this is a 1-2 and this is another 1-2, right? Then the length of time, let me see, what is the length here? So from the top of this, from the top of this 1-2 down to the bottom, that's about 80 days. Okay? So we're nowhere near 80 days, but we're only like on day 30. And we're actually on only 8 days from that low, right? The good thing is when you look at the RSI, we're starting to cool off. See, this is what we want. We want the oscillators to cool off. Now, the question is, are we going to have, we're sort of in the middle. Do we have to go even lower, right? Boom, 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 right? Get down here, get some divergence, and then swing up like this, you know? Because once this thing fires up, are we going to be able to break this here? Or is it going to make a lower high? And that's going to give you your bearish divergence, letting you know, hey, this thing is getting ready to be in distribution. So any way you slice it, guys, any way you slice it and dice it, XRP is the most bullish looking thing on the planet. I mean, there's nothing more bullish, nothing more beautiful than this chart right here. They're just not. I mean, look at the shape of this. Look at that beautiful cup. Look at that beautiful cup. I mean, those are some freaking big old double D's right there. I mean, those are massive. Okay. So when we break this thing, it's going to be, look at the triangle, right? I mean, let me just paint a picture here of how bullish this is. Number one, the reason why it's so incredibly bullish, the biggest reason by far, is that this is a base, the biggest base in crypto history. We've been going sideways for 7 years. That is beyond bullish. Look at all those years down there, sideways, right? And people make fun of it. I see people on Twitter back in before XRP broke out. Now they're not saying anything, but back then they would take a line, right? And XRP was at 64 cents. And if you would have bought XRP, if you would have bought $100 worth of XRP back in October of 2017, you would have $100 7 years later. And people are like, ha 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 ha, they're laughing. And that's fine. Hey, they are correct. They're right. And it is that situation. But here's the thing. Why would you buy it there? People who bought it there obviously didn't realize what was going on. All right. So reason number one, that is the biggest base in crypto history. Reason number two, we have A, B, C, D, E. We have a contracting triangle. Very bullish. That's reason number two. The biggest contracting triangle in crypto history. That is reason number two. Reason number three. We have a massive cup. We have another massive handle. We have a massive cup and handle. That's reason number three. Right? Reason number four, why this is one of the bullish charts in crypto history, is because look at the W. We have a beautiful W shape. W's are the most bullish patterns you can get, really. So that's four reasons right there. All right, well, what's reason number five? Reason number five is this is a fractal of what this is. Same carbon copy, right? That's reason number five. What's reason number six? Reason number six, we went through all the phases. We have a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, blast off. Same thing here, rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, blast off, right? Reason number seven, what is it? Reason number seven is because of the ammunition XRP has, right? We won the lawsuit, right? Oh, by the way, the lawsuit is still hanging over our head because they appealed it, which is actually a good thing. I'm glad they appealed it. Why? Because that will initiate more ammunition when the time is needed. For example, let's say Trump gets in, right? And then let's say we're up here like around $6, $7. And then you have the new commissioner coming in. And then what happens? You pull back a little bit and then they drop the lawsuit. Bam! And then you have that final move, right? That climax move, right? And then they pull back a little bit. And then you have the XRP ETF. And then bam! You have another big move. Something like that. Now, I don't think it's going to go that high. But, you get what I mean. Right? So what? Reason 7, 8, 9, 10? What number are we on? So another reason is because, like I said, the lawsuit and things like that. But then also the XRP ETF. So these are getting into less technical, more fundamental. But the ETF is coming in play, right? Which is what? Which is going to dramatically increase the volume, the liquidity, XRP, going in, going out, whatever the case may be. What is another reason? Another reason is you have the stable coin, right? RLUSD is now live. It's trading. It's great. It's perfect. It's, it is what it is. And it's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And that liquidity, those stable coin dollars, is going to just add more liquidity to the ledger, right? And then guess what? XRP is the primary coin for that ledger, right? Something Cardano wishes they had. That's why I think Charles Hoskinson is starting to cozy up to XRP again, and the community is because the only reason why is because of the stablecoin thing, right? Because Tether and USDC, they don't want to interrupt with the Cardano network, right? So, anyways, XRP has that possibility of basically circling through other chains, right? Another reason is, I don't even know what number I'm on, but you get the idea. Another reason is because we'll go back to technical, and if you look at Dogecoin, for example, look at this. And I've shared this before. Here we go, Doge. And then let's go to the weekly. Maybe the monthly. All right, and then for this, we'll also go to the monthly. Okay, so another reason why XRP is bullish is because look at Dogecoin. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, massive wave 5 extension. Well, guess what? XRP has 1, 2, 3, 4, but where's number 5? We don't have number 5. That's because we're about to get it soon, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe we get a massive wave 5 extension, just like how Dogecoin got one. I mean, heck, we could go up to $40. I don't, it's really hard to know exactly. These markets are so manipulated. They're so suppressed. There's so many things. XRP has been artificially suppressed for so long, right? So I could be wrong. Maybe it isn't $8 to $10. Maybe it's $40, $50. I don't think so. But you just don't know, right? Until we can start. That's why I like to measure the moves here. So if you look here, well, I'm not going to get into that, but if we start measuring these waves, right, then I can get a wave 3 target. And then let's say that wave 3 target blasts through all of my linear scale targets. Then, for example, I think this is just going to be a long video today. So if we blast through our linear targets, then we can look at our log scale targets. And now you're looking at $25, $36, right? So you keep adjusting as the wave matures. So, you know what I mean? So anyways, and if you want more nitty gritty stuff about targets, definitely become a member. Because, once we break out, the next topic of conversation, we talked about different setups and things like that. And then we talked about rotations. The next one's going to be, and then we also briefly talked about targets, but we're not close to it enough to really have more concrete evidence of those targets. So where you click subscribe, just click join, right? You gotta subscribe, and just click join where the subscribe button is, and try it out for a couple months, especially if we know that the bull run is here, right? If we know the bull run is here, and we know, this thing's going to be ending soon, right? I think that would be. And then once we get into the bear market and people have sold off, then, just cancel. There's really no use for it. And I'm brutally honest. Why would I even say that? You know what I mean? Well, here's the thing. The bear markets, at the beginning of them are kind of brutal and boring. But for trading purposes, they could be really good. Because look, just like how you make money going up, you can make money going down, right? So if we make a top of $10, by the way, it would be very hard for me to short XRP. I probably wouldn't short it. I'd probably be shorting other things unless it's very clear and we clearly have distribution. But if we have those massive meme coin pumps and they have 5 waves, I'd love to short those things on the way down. So, there's benefits for that as well in the bear market. So people say, oh, well, now we got to wait another 4 years for a bull market. Well, no, you don't. You just open a trading account, right? Not Coinbase or things like that, but an actual trading account like Binance or something like that. And but you got to know what you're doing, and then you can short it, right? So I wouldn't use a lot of leverage. I'd probably, if you're just starting out, I would probably use 2x to 3x at the most, and have proper trading risk management, and eventually we will get into those things as well. So anyways, I think that's enough for XRP. It only took 40 minutes. Not too bad, right? It's kind of like when we're back in middle school and high school, how long did your first period take? About 45 minutes to an hour. It's the same thing. We basically we just ended first period. Now you got to take a restroom break and go to second period. Second period is what? Ooh, XRP is pumping a little bit more, I think. Let me see. Let me zoom in here. Hello. Wait a minute here. I got to do something with some of my trades for a minute. Let me pause the video. So, all right, let's look at Theta here. We could see Theta is making a little bit of a comeback. I kind of like the fact that we have 3 down, we have 3 up, and we have 3 back down. So that in itself is 3. So if that is 3 down, so we have 3 up, and then we have 3 down, what comes next? Either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, or 3 up. Hopefully it's 5. So again, we have an impulse, we have a 3-wave pullback, we have 3 up, we have 3 down. Let's get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. And then once we get in the retracement levels, it's going to be kind of challenging, because if we get up there, then that means we have 3, right? So if we have 3 down and we came up in 3 up, then maybe we come back down in 3 and then finally go. Or if this thing gets enough velocity and we flag out, we can just skip that and then just continue, right? This could be a 1 with a flat for a 2. So still a lot of unknowns, but it's looking pretty decent right here. I don't like how you shoot right down and then you shoot right back up. You're probably going to have to come back down in here. I want to see it kind of level off and go sideways and then break out. That's what I like to see. Remember the Wyckoff range. We were looking at it from a Wyckoff perspective. It kind of lost its look to it, but or maybe it was a different chart. But anyways, those are kind of the 2 ideas, right? So idea number 1, we're building a base, we're going to break out, get to this retracement level. From here we can flag out, continue, or come down in 3 and then continue. So basically that's the idea. It's kind of like 2 ideas with a pivot here, alternative pivot. The other idea, that doesn't mean it's going to happen today or tomorrow. It could play around a little bit in here before going up, and I would actually rather have that. The bearish idea would be that we have 3 down and this is 3 up, and then we get 3 down, which is really the same idea, right? It's just a little bit deeper of a pullback. So WXY and then go up. So I'm looking for this range to break. You know, we want to see it break. Is it going to break up or is it going to break down? I mean, it looks like it wants to break to the upside. Okay, so I'm going to do targets. We're going to do the same thing. Trend-based fib extension from the bottom to the top. Back down to the bottom. Same thing what we did with XRP. Right? So the 1-to-1 extension comes in at $4.10. The 1618 comes in at $5.55. So I'm looking at $5, between $5 and $5. I would just say between $5 and $6. That's the next goal. That is the next step. You could say $5 to $6. We're not even at $3. Well, that's the target. We're not even at $4. We're not even at $5. How could you say $5 to $6? Well, there's a contingency, which is we have to break above 240, 280, and 330. So just say we have to break between 250 and 350. So if we can break between 250 and 350, we have a clear shot to $4 to $6, really $5 to $6. And then if we can measure these waves in here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, three-way pullback, then I can take this extension down to this extension and get a more accurate target. So you'll have to stay tuned for that. So if we want the most accurate targets, we need to get closer to the target to get a more accurate target, right? So anyway, that's Theta. Nothing really changed. It's just, you know, it is what it is. Also, another thing too is we need to get through these retracement levels, right? So we're kind of flagging out in here a little bit. We need to break this flag with a vengeance. And we need to get up here to that 550 area. But in order to do that, we need to get through this area right here, which again is between that 250 to 350 area. So there you go. Nothing really different, except it looks a lot better today than it did yesterday. And I kind of figured that was going to happen. You know, anytime you get a big crush on Sunday, it could be followed by one more crush or a leveling off. In this case, we actually had a pretty nice pump. So anyways, that should do it for this video. I could do a real quick rapid fire here. Dog. It's looking a lot better, right? Boom. By the way, there's a couple fractals too. Let me see. So I pulled these fractals here. You could see it for XRP. This was actually, it's not my chart, but this I took the screenshot and I wanted to show you guys because I think it's worth showing. Basically, it's a fractal from Bitcoin, and we're comparing it to XRP. And what's cool about it is it looks very similar, at least what's been going on lately, right? Where we had that big liquidity dump. Well, first you had the three-way pullback, right? And then you have this three-way move up, slam down, three up, three down, three up, three down. And then what happens? You kind of pump back up. So in that case, we would pump back up to here, pull down a little bit, keep charging and charging until we completely break out. So one of these guys. So I think it's cool. Here's another type of fractal that I thought was worth sharing as well, which is, you know, you got this impulse. Let me do a different color. Let's see. Let's do pink. You got this impulse, you got this three-way pullback, this little roundabout, same thing here, impulse, three-way pullback, little roundabout. You shoot the high, right? You shoot the high, you come back, and then you level off. That's what we want to see. We want to see it level off and then an explosion. But after that explosion, look what happens. You come all the way down and back test. Hopefully that doesn't happen, because that would just be totally crushing. Definitely going to have to trade that. If you're hodling, it doesn't matter. But if, let's say, you get in here and you shoot up and then you keep holding it, you don't really want to hold that thing down. So, but I don't even know if that's, I mean, that's just speculation. We're not even near that phase yet. So you can see if we can level off in here like we did in here, that's going to set up a big potential move to the upside. So we'll see. So dog, you know, it kind of looks like 3 up. You kind of got this move down. I'm looking for another move up. If we got that, it would look kind of bearish. What would be better is if we had this sort of kind of go sideways a little bit and then move up. You get away from the scene of the crime and you build an accumulation base and then break out. If we shoot up instantly, then it needs to prove itself. It needs to follow through and do that. All right. So H bar. So H bar. Oh, by the way, that fractal we were just looking at was H bar. Right. So H bar would be like this, and then a continuation to the upside. We talked about H bar a lot, which is 3 down, right? We have 3 up, and now we're getting this kind of move back down. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It could be finished. It looks kind of small, but in order to know if it's finished, is we need to go sideways, then continue. Let me look at the smaller time frames. Wait a minute, is this thing pumping here? Looking at ADA real quick. I'll go back to H bar in a minute, but the thing we need to see here, right? So it looks good. We have an impulse, and we're sort of correcting to the downside. We're flagging out. That's what we want to see. But you see how we spike down, then spike right up? I don't really like when it does that. I would like to see it in a perfect world. I want to see this kind of pull back a little bit, you know, maybe range, kind of go sideways and then break out. Right? Show me that, this sideways, right? And then you actually blast off from a launch pad rather than a quick spike up and a quick spike down and a quick spike up. You know, it's just one of those things where, you know, you missed it. And, you know, I wasn't paying attention, so I didn't get to snag that low. So I'd love to see a pullback. And then I can, I got in some of them right around here, but I was just throwing at the wall. I didn't even know if it was going to keep pumping, but I was ready to stop it out because, you know, it could easily have rolled back over. But yeah, it's continuing to pump here. Just look at the 5-minute chart. The problem is it's so close to these peaks. Did we break them yet? Yeah, you can see where, you know, it's seems like maybe we get up here and then we roll back down and you see the trend, right? So we need to break the downtrend. In order to break the downtrend, instead of going up, we need to go sideways. So kind of like Jupiter here, you see how it's kind of leveling off. We kind of want it to keep doing that and then go up. So that's what I'm looking for. QNT. You actually got a clear move here. You got 3 and then you got 3. It's very clear. So I'd like to see it kind of level off again, you know. So long story short, I want to see the market leveling off. You got 3 up, Theta fuel, 3 down, level off, go. Near, I mean, near, you look like you have a head and shoulders here. But I wouldn't, I mean, I like the fact that you took that liquidity, you came right back up. So now we need to hold this line. We need to hold the line here. Filecoin. Boom, boom, boom. We got 3 up. We got 3 down. It's looking pretty good. I'd like to see it kind of come down and kind of go sideways. And then if we get that structure, it's going to be very bullish. If we keep pumping, it's going to look scammy. It's not going to look right. So I know everybody's cheering for upside, but it's better to go sideways. And you can say, well, we've been going sideways in here. Yeah, but on the smaller time frames. See, for example, this came down, and then look what happened. We instantly went back up, and then look, now we came back down again. But if this thing would have came down and then it would have went sideways, it could have had a higher probability of breaking out. But since it went back up so fast, it gets, you know, something, it gets ahead of itself, you know. So I think, you know, let me see, is there anything else? Let's look at Solana here. I haven't been able to get to the comments or the request. So if you want to put them in below this video, you know, if you say, hey, can you look at this coin, and I don't look at it, just keep putting it in the comment section and I will see it. It's been very busy with me lately, you know, family, you know, just traveling, well, not really much traveling, but just visiting other family members and just a lot of things going on, you know. So I apologize if I didn't get to your comment. But Solana, you know, we're sort of building a base here. I want to see it continue, and then I want to see it break out. Pretty simple. XRP dominance. Let's see. Let's go back up. Let's look at Ethereum. See, Ethereum still kind of looks crappy. I want to, yeah, if we can keep going sideways a little bit and then start to break out. You know, this Wyckoff right here, boom, boom, boom. And then you kind of curl around, get up here, break out, something like that. Did we look at, I don't even think we looked at Bitcoin yet. Well, we looked at it a lot yesterday. But Bitcoin, you know, it's really cool because look at this. The reason I'm a lot more bullish today is because of this bullish divergence here on the 8-hour chart too. I think, is it on the 12-hour chart? Yeah, it's also on the 12-hour. I don't think it's, and it's also on the, no, it's not on the daily yet. But where it's very strong is on the 4-hour. Look at that. Look at that bullish divergence here. So you can clearly see that. It looks really good. So you can see right here is a good area, 92. You can see the top right here, a little bit there, right? But this area and this area, look at that. We crushed through it. We broke through, and it was a liquidity grab, right? We grabbed that liquidity, and then we shot right back up. So this, oh, so the Wyckoff was actually, Bitcoin, I remember now. Look at this. By the way, if you can hit that like button, we're about to go across that 1 hour mark, and it always kills the algorithms. And but anytime I have a long video, just watch the first 10 minutes, and you'll pretty much get the gist of everything. You know what I mean? The reason I go longer is just because I'm getting into more detail. But look at this. We have 3 up, come down, 3 up, come down, come back up, and then creak, 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 creak. Grab that liquidity, creak, 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 grab that liquidity. Then work your way back up, play around, and then break out. That's what we want to see with Bitcoin. That looks exactly like a Wyckoff setup. It looks really good. So, and we have the bullish divergence, and we have the liquidity grab, and we have this wave here that looks very corrective to the downside. It looks sort of like and it got me going too. It made me think, man, this thing looks bad. It looks like it wants to just break down. You also kind of broke that trend line to the downside. I know we broke that one. It's kind of subjective because there's a lot of points down here. But there you go. You can kind of see boom, 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 boom. And then we broke it down and we broke horizontal. Got everybody bearish, including myself, right? And then we quickly came back up. But did I react when I was bearish? No. Did I do anything stupid? No. What did I do? I just wait. You just got to wait and you got to let it play out. And now we see Monday looks a lot better. But it still totally needs a lot of work. The best thing it can do here is kind of build a little bit of a base and then start rounding out like this and then go. That would be, this is exactly what I want to see. Something like that. If we start pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping, that's going to be bad. And you can say, well, why would that be bad? We're going up. No, because it's screwing up the structure. You know, I mean, I guess it's okay, but you really want to go sideways and then break up. So I can't emphasize that enough. CRV looks pretty good. You kind of got a little flag here. You got a 1, 2, 3. Looks like you're flagging out for a 4. This one could use a little bit less of a sideways, but still a little bit, and then break up for 5. XLM. Okay, this is the one. XLM is looking pretty good. This is the one I think. So if I was going to buy XRP or XLM, I'd actually buy XLM, not XRP. And you can say, well, why is that? Well, because it had a bigger drawdown. And sometimes that could be worse, but let's take a look here. Let's go to XRP, and we'll look at them side by side. If I can find it already, okay. So, let's see here. Okay, XLM from the low to the high, that's about 82%. Right? And you can see XLM, wait, is this the monthly chart? Oh, that's why. Okay, so let me go to the weekly. There we go. So XLM has been correcting longer than XRP, right? So it's got more of a, okay, so from the bottom to the top, that's 51%. And then from here, up here, that's 105%. So you have much more percentage potential with XLM, right? Okay, so now let's zoom out. And you can kind of see the downward resistance line playing here. Look at that. So, to get back to the all-time high, you're looking at 182%. Now for XRP, to get back to the all-time high, it's $3.30. You're looking at 60%. Yeah, around that 60% area versus, 171%, right? So I would, if they're both going to go on bull runs, they're both going to go into expansion. XLM probably has a little bit more of a percentage potential. Okay, so there we go. Let's look a little bit closer here. And let's actually put this on. Look at that flag. It's holding nicely, and look where it stopped. See, look at the difference between the way this went up and the way this is going down. This is impulsive, this is corrective. There's a high probability that this is going to break to the upside. All right, so we got 3 down, we got 3 up, we got 3 down. So the chances are we're going to get back up here. All right, once we get there, then it becomes very challenging. Well, now what? Do we have to go back down in 3 and go up? Do we have to do an ABC and then go up? Do we get to flag out and then go up? That's going to be the challenge, right? So if we actually compare this real quick to Theta, look at this. And we go to the daily here. Look at this right here. Just trying to show you. All right. Look at this. So you got 3 up. You got 3 up. Perfect. And then you come down and 3. Looks like maybe we're coming down in 3. And then what happens? You have a big pump, right? So what's going to happen next? Maybe we get a big pump, right? Looks pretty good to me. So anyways, that'll do it for this video. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you can, hit that like, subscribe, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think here, because at the end of the day, it's all about what you guys think. I'm just kind of showing what I believe are the possibilities here. So I think all in all, now if I summarize my thoughts real quick, I think we're going to have an exciting 2025 contingent on us getting through these retracement levels. So even if we had to come down, right, I still think eventually we will get to these retracement levels. So it's all about that, right? So anyways, I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.